Yo, what's going on, guys? Mario here, back with another video, and today I'll be getting into something a little different from the e-commerce stuff that we've been talking about lately. And this is more so what I do full time myself. So this is me swing and day trading, but the difference is I'm not doing it on a day trading account. I'm actually swinging in my TFSA. In the USA, you guys know it as the Roth IRA. So I just want to give a little bit of background on the challenge that I gave myself here in 2024. So at the beginning of January, I set myself $10,000 that I loaded into my TFSA, again, my Roth IRA in USA. And I gave myself a challenge to turn this into 100K. So 10xing this portfolio this year. And so then the target is in 2025 to also 10x it from 100K to $1 million tax free. So that's what I'm aiming for here, just to give you guys an idea. And I'll probably keep this challenge going and give a portfolio update maybe every like 4 to 8 weeks, depending on how many trades I take, because when the market's going ham like it's been the last few months, I mean, I'm taking a lot of trades and I'm putting a lot of size into it. Now, we're currently in the middle of March. The market's a little shaky, and I think we'll be getting a correction here shortly. And so I'll probably be taking this portfolio a little bit more conservatively. And so I won't be too aggressive with my trades. So I'll be going full out on the portfolio. Sometimes I'll be taking a step back and just keeping my game safe, you know? So here's my trading log for 2024 as of March 17th. Now, I haven't updated the trades past March because I've taken a few this month. I just wanted to keep everything throughout the first 2 months of January and mostly February. Now, we were able to turn this account from $10,000 Canadian to $53,000 Canadian. In the US, that's 7.5K around to almost $40,000 in less than 50 days. So, I mean, to me, this is crazy, and I'm sure to a lot of people that is crazy. This took a lot of studying, a lot of time in the market. I've been in the market since 2020. This is not something easy. But yeah, before we get to everything, I just want to say, if you guys are interested in any Shopify one-on-one, anything fulfillment related, anything e-commerce related, check out the description below. I'm starting a trading group soon, and I'll probably link that in the description if it's out by the time this video's out. So if you guys want to see any of my callouts, check out everything in the description. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy. I'll be getting into everything on why I took this trade and how I took this trade. So I'll be showing you guys my thought process throughout the scenario, and I'll lay everything out for you guys. So hope you guys enjoy. Please smash that like button, and we'll get right into the video. So how I laid out this whole trading log is the amount of trades that I've taken, because I don't want to take a lot of trades. I want quality over quantity. So less is more in trading. I don't want to be going full out opening 10, 20 positions at the same time. I'm comfortable with at least 5 at most. I don't like to watch a lot of stocks at the same time. I like to focus on my conviction and go all out. So here is the trade number. There's the buy date, the sell date. It's kind of important to see how long you hold the trade. The starting balance in USD for my USD people, and then obviously in CAD. The amount of option contracts. So what I'm doing, like I said, it's swing trading in my TFSA. So the option details. So for example, Snow, May 17th, 2024 calls with 230 calls. The buy price, the full size of the amount I'm putting in this trade. The sell price, the full sell price, the gross profit per trade, the profit percentage of the portfolio, the ending balance of the portfolio, the style of trade, so why I took it, the type of trade, and then just side note, the size and amount that I put in the trade. And so obviously the ones in green are trades that did hit, and the ones in red are the ones that are failed trades. Like, guys, I'm not an expert in like, guys, obviously there's losses in these things. It's not everything's green here. So I obviously took some losses. Part of trading is when to accept the loss and when to know how to get out, and how to get out without hurting your portfolio too much. So I'll get into the first trade here. I got in on January 18th, so that was my first trade. $10,000 Canadian. I put 7,000 USD into this trade. No, 230 calls for May 17th, 2024. So this one was a successful trade. I'll show you guys my thought process though. So here's the snow chart on the daily and the weekly. So this is what you call a stage 1 breakout. So here, I'll give you guys stage 1 breakout stock market. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So look at this. So stage 1 is a bunch of accumulation, and stage 2 is the pump. So here's snow. You could look on the weekly chart. It's been in this range since April of 2022, and it finally broke out of the range the week of January 26, 2024. So it was pretty much in this range for almost 2 years here. So that's the stage 1 accumulation that I'm talking about. All of this over here on the weekly chart. So if you zoom in on the daily chart here, it looks pretty much the same. Look at all this accumulation under this 190 to 200 level. So my conviction here is the market's going up, everything's going up. Snow is a rate sensitive stock, so when TNX is going up, this stock usually comes down because it's very unprofitable, and so it's very rate sensitive. So I saw that rates are coming down, snow is lagging, the whole cloud sector is lagging, and so I drew this trend line over here. I want to see, I got into this trade on January 18th. So January 18th was all this trend line over here. So this red candle over here. I got into this and my take profit was here at this. So my take profit target was about 220 to 225. Here I have 225. I think I got out around 220 and sold my last 2 contracts in 225-ish. But this was the trend line. This was another trend line that I got into. So I bounced off of this one multiple times here, and same here, it was holding with the hammer. So I got into the next day, rolled this pump, almost got shook out here, but I said I was going to hold with conviction till I have time. I didn't get shook out of the trade, and then I ended up getting out, I think mostly on this Giga candle over here. I held 2 more contracts and sold them at around 225 here. So I pretty much rode this whole move. I caught the full move that I wanted to catch, made super good money. That grew the portfolio from $10,000 all the way to $22,000. So that, I pretty much went all out on my first trade with high conviction, gave myself time so everything hit, and I got out at a solid profit. So that was the first trade with Snow. The second trade, I got into 2 at the same time on February 5th, 2024. So 2 contracts of Coin 180 calls for September 20th, 2024, and 6 contracts of Carvana 50 calls for March 1st, 2024. So the size wasn't as big as Snow, but I still gave myself a decent amount of size. I have some profits to play with. Why not? These were pretty risky trades, but I got in. So the profit on those trades, like you can see, those are the profit. So I mean, this is growing the account consistently. I have no complaints over this. Account consistently. I have no complaints over this. But here's the profit that I had throughout the contract. Alright, so keep in mind this amount is in USD. So the portfolio did turn into $53,000 USD. This is all in USD. I forgot to mention that earlier. But with that in mind, we'll come here to the chart. So this is the coin chart. I got in on February 5th on both trades here. So February 5th, I believe it was around here. Yeah, February 5th. So on this red candle over here, on this around 114 zone, look at this on the daily. It hit here. So it bounced here once, and then it here, support turns into resistance. So resistance here once, resistance here twice, finally broke through, then it retested the zone. I got in here and my take profit was at around 160. So I got out, I believe, on this candle over here. What day? 14th. I got on the 13th on this trade. Okay, so I got out here I didn't ride it to the full take profit. I believe the market was pretty bad, so I wanted to take off risk, and I didn't. Like, I missed this whole move, so that was my bad. But that was pretty much my thought process through this. Also, if you look at the BTC chart, which is this is basically what I followed these trades off. So obviously, I don't know why it's not popping up here, but basically the BTC chart was telling me there was a pump imminent. So February, it's consolidating in the zone here, and I just felt the pump coming. I've been in the crypto game for a long time, since 2020, 2021, so I kind of have a feel on how Bitcoin moves. So that's also another reason why I went to the coin calls. Now, this Carvana chart. So this is an amazing chart for a day trader or just a trader in general. Look at it, inverse head and shoulders. And I had this trend line drew from the weekly. So keep in mind, when you see confirmations like this on the weekly chart, it means that this move will last for a longer time than if it's on the daily chart. So if you had an inverse head and shoulder on the daily chart, that pump usually lasts a couple of days, maybe a week or two max. But on the weekly chart, this move can last for several weeks. Look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 weeks of pumping up on Carvana since this break. And yeah, so I got this trade on February 5th. It should be around, okay, February 5th right here. So I got on this candle through this trend line. I'm like, pretty much inverse head and shoulder here. There's a good chance if this trend line breaks, it could probably finally break this 55 zone that it's been rejecting a couple of times off of, right? So 1, 2, fake out here, came back down, also rejected here. That was my thought process. I got in, and I'm pretty sure I got out on the 14th. So that over here. So I got out at this candle, pretty much at my take profit, and yeah, that was the trade for that one. So the market looked topped, like it topped, but it hadn't topped, so I got shook out of these positions, even though I had decently high conviction in them. But the call flow was going, there was crazy call flow on MU for April and May at the time I entered here on February 12th, and I got shook out the next day, so that was pretty pussy move from my end. But let me show you guys the trade. So MU on the daily and weekly has been just flagging over here, while other semis have been pumping. So I'm like, this is lagging, let me get into this. So on the 12th, look, I got in such a bad zone, so I think I got shook out over here. I ended up taking another MU trade, which is on the trading log, but I'll show you guys that after. So that was pretty much it. Yeah, so that was the trade on that. And TLT, pretty much, I think there was CPI the next day, so I took a little gamble on a soft CPI print would probably bring the rates down. So that was my thought process through this trade. Didn't work out, lost a little bit of money. There was also a little bit of cost flow on it, so that's the reason why I entered. Overall loss on these two, not much hit to the account. Pretty much negated the wins, like half of one of these two wins, so not too much of a hit. That was good risk management on the account, and that was a trade. So on the 13th, I entered, after exiting, I entered Tesla. I think the market recovered later that day, and I added Tesla at the end of the day. So that Tesla trade, I added 2.5k USD into it, and it was 200 calls for March 28th. So let me show you guys that Tesla trade. So inverse head and shoulder here is on the daily with this gap, this earning gap above. So RSI was looking pretty good. Tesla, usually I follow this stock. This is a stock I trade probably the most, Tesla. I have really good gains on this stock, and I know how it moves. Every stock has a personality. I've mastered this one for the most part. And so that inverse head and shoulders with the RSI this low and that earnings gap above, there's a decent chance that Tesla would pump. So I got in on the 13th, which was, I kind of predicted the inverse head and shoulders. I don't usually like to do that. I'd usually play inverse head and shoulders off the neckline over here and ride the pump, but I'm like, the market's looking decent at this point, and I had recovered that day. I'm like, there's a good chance that we could fly with Tesla here in the next few days. So I got out on the 27th, so over here. So basically, I had decent gains. I think I had like almost 2x here on these two candles after that. I didn't get out, but I saw it flagging here around the neckline, so I'm like, I'll probably sell the next pump, and I'm predicting it to fill the gap at 208. It didn't, but I still got out, which is very good on my end, and I got out on this candle, so that's what I had on Tesla. Ended up just being a bear flag. If you try it like this, it broke the bear flag, and look at that since. So good thing I got out. That was the trade I got in. Super short, super sweet, super and super simple. So that's it for Tesla. So Carvana and MU, I'm getting into those two again. Carvana with two YOLO contracts for earnings with this strike date for 70 calls, and MU again, I entered again. I saw heavy call flow on this, so I wanted to catch the move. Semis are pumping, this one's lagging. That was the thought process. So not much size onto those. Carvana, I ended up getting in on the 14th, so that's around here. So right after I got out, I got back in. I think I got FOMO, so I wrote it down, and then my thing was two YOLO contracts for earnings. There's a decent chance this inverse head shoulder breaks and it pumps. I think I got out on this date, so that was my thought process there. And use same thing. I got on the 13th, or sorry, when did I get into that? Got on the 14th. So right after the day after I got in, had a better entry than before. Rolled that to the 94 take profit over here. I sold it on this candle, so that was a solid trade. If you look, the account is now at 33k USD from 10k Canadian, so the account's looking amazing there. On the 21st and 23rd, so I chilled out on the account for a week. Again, yeah, I got into BTC plays here, CLSK and MSTR. So CLSK had crazy call flow, and by the way, for call flow, you can get this here on Unusual Whales. Now I'm in a Discord and I don't pay for this service. I do pay for the server, the Discord server, and they do give good information, call flow, trade ideas, and such. So Problem Sniper is the Discord that I'm in, and he does an amazing job running it. Actually, she scratched that Discord part. Unusual Whales is the flow tool that I use. So, alright, she scratched that that Discord promotion part that I just talked about. So Unusual Whale is the, and I also I follow some people on Twitter like Flo Saidon and Alex Jones, Industrial Average. So these guys post flow, and I saw crazy call flow on CLSK. Also, Bitcoin was about to pump from the Bitcoin chart. I'll show you guys here. So I got in on the 21st and 23rd. So 21st over here, it's been holding this zone, the 15 psychological level, and I saw this flagging with crazy call flow, so I entered with pretty decent size, $4,000 USD. Same with MSTR. I got in on this date over here, the 23rd, so it's been holding this line at around 700, which was prior resistance, but now turned into support after breaking through. So those were the moves I was looking to catch, and I mean, I made very good money off of these moves. So I had almost a 3x on CLSK and almost 4x on MSTR, and these were longer, pretty decent. Like, I had a month on these contracts trying to catch a BTC pump. BTC on the 21st, 23rd of May. So look, I saw it flagging over here with lower volume, and so that was the move I was trying to catch. And I think MSTR might be my biggest regret selling this early, because I sold it on the 28th. So CLSK, I sold it on the 27th, which was this. I sold it here, I think pretty much at the top, because I know how these Bitcoin miners run. So usually they pump for a day or two, then on the third day they'll have a huge gap up and fade. So also from my 2020 and 2021 days, that's what I learned. That's exactly what happened here, and we cut that move perfectly. MSTR, on the other hand, I got out on the 24th, which was on the 28th. So we got out over here at 9:50-ish, which in my mind was insane gains for like a 1 week hold. But holy shit, I think if I would have held these two contracts, I would have made around $100,000. I think if I would have held those two contracts, I would have made around $100,000 USD, which is insane. But that's fine. Good traders leave money on the table all the time, so I'm not too butthurt about that. But I mean, it does hurt a little. It's okay. We'll move on to AMD. We have AMD here twice, so I got into two different strikes on back-to-back on pretty much right after the other. So the AMD move here is a solid move. I saw crazy call flow coming in, so that's why I got into 220s. This 191 was the initial pump that I wanted to catch with AMD, and I'll show you guys the setup shortly. But this is the move that I wanted to catch. I'll show you guys shortly, but I did have some decent games with AMD. Almost, I mean, 3x here and a 2x and a bit here, so I did catch some decent move on AMD. Here's the setup on AMD. So once again, Nvidia is pumping heavy. So once again, Nvidia is pumping heavy, and AMD is just lagging here, flagging for 5 weeks after breaking out here. So look at this crazy volume and just consolidation on lower volume. So that's what I'm reading here. Just consolidation between this 185 and 163 level. Kept flagging here. It kept flagging here, and I got in on the 26th. So I got in over here. I saw it was over the EMAs here, the 20, the 50, and the 9. And it's getting super tight. It had an inside day here and another inside day here. If you're a good trader, you know that AMD after a double inside day usually goes crazy. Now this time it did lag a bit, but it pumped crazy right after. So we caught that move nicely. We got out on March 1st. So we got out over here, and then the remainder we got out on the 5th, which was over here. So I mean, we didn't catch the top, but that's fine. AMD, or no, actually I think on these ones I did sell one or two of the final contracts on this day, if I remember correctly. I sold that at like 218, I remember. So solid move caught here on AMD. This was also a move that I caught on my day trading account. Nonetheless, AMD, solid move here and pump the gains. Now I want to talk about this loss, FXI. This one I sold recently, that's why it still says holding. I think I sold it on March 12th, I believe. So this final trade, FXI, so pretty much I saw crazy call flow on FXI, like crazy amount of money hitting, inverse head and shoulders. Chinese stocks are not looking too bad themselves. Baba has an inverse head and shoulder here. I remember Baidu looked decent as well. Baidu, yeah, I think I had a trend line true in here, and it had earnings or something, so that was what people were banking on, is my assumption. Anyways, I got in on the 27th of February, which was right here, pretty much the top, so that's when all the call flow came. I got shook out. I pretty much sold. Yeah, I did sell here at a small loss, so I mean, I wasn't sized too heavy into it, so it didn't hurt the account that much. Nonetheless, if I would have held, I could have got it out at break even. It's fine. FXI, I don't trust these Chinese pumps when the flow hits on them. They're so unpredictable, but I saw crazy amount of money hitting on these strikes, so that's how I got in. And that's the reason why I got in. So that's pretty much it on the portfolio. I'll give you guys this, the style of trade over here is pretty much what I was talking to you guys about, so I'm not going to go back into this. You guys can read that on your own. Super important to take notes of the sizing. So high conviction, I went all out, pretty much full ported the account. That kickstarted everything. And then from there, pretty much half size on most. full size on high conviction trades, but other than that, pretty much everything was small size. So moving forward with this account, I'm gonna be sizing a little less for the coming month or two. Probably sizing up during the summertime. We can catch solid moves here in in an election year. We can catch a solid move here in an election year. Usually the summer pumps. Then August, September tends to be a little shaky and red. And then Q4 is when I will go all out. Now, my goal, like I said, was $100,000. I'm already at $50,000 in the span of about 40 days. So that's huge. I'm going to relax a bit on this and take only high conviction trades on this account. Everything's looking good. I think we could probably hit $150,000 to $200,000 on this account this year, but I'll keep you guys posted with all the gains on this account. I'll make videos here and there updating you guys and giving you guys details on the trade. And other than that, if you guys have any questions, leave it in the comments below. I'll be sure to answer. And like I said, check the description below if you guys need any help trading, any e-commerce help. And yeah, I mean, I'll catch you guys on the next video, and appreciate you guys sticking through. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.